The Galactic Council chamber hummed with the anxious chittering of 1,000 species. Commander Zixter of the Viridian Collective stood at the central podium, his crystalline form refracting the chamber's pale light into fragments of despair. "The scourge has consumed the outer rim," he announced, his voice resonating through the translators. 47 systems. Gone. In 3 cycles. Jennifer Cross sat in the human delegation's corner, her fingers drumming against the armrest of her seat. Beside her, Alex Chen studied the holographic projections with characteristic intensity, his jaw set in a hard line. "They're terrified," Alex whispered, not taking his eyes off the display. "They should be," Jennifer replied, "but not of the scourge." The scourge was unlike anything the galaxy had encountered in its 5 million years of recorded history. A hive-mind entity that consumed biological matter and converted it into more of itself, spreading like a plague across star systems. It had appeared 6 months ago at the edge of known space, and nothing, not the Viridian's quantum weapons, not the Krell's gravitational disruptors, not even the ancient Archon's reality-bending technology could stop it. "The Council recognizes the human delegation," Zixter said, his tone carefully neutral, though Jennifer caught the undercurrent of something else. Fear, hope, perhaps both. Jennifer stood, feeling the weight of 1,000 alien eyes upon her. Humans had joined the Galactic Council only 20 years ago, a probationary membership granted with skepticism and no small amount of condescension. Earth was young, its people primitive by galactic standards. They had no ancient technologies, no evolved psychic abilities, no naturally occurring energy shields. What they had was something the galaxy had forgotten existed. "Honored members," Jennifer began, her voice steady, "we've reviewed the data. The scourge operates on a simple principle. It adapts to overcome resistance. Every weapon you've used, it's learned to counter within hours." "Yes," hissed the Krell ambassador, its serpentine form coiling with agitation. "We are aware of our failures. Human, if you have no solution, sit down." Alex stood beside Jennifer, his presence solid and reassuring. "We do have a solution, but you won't like it." The chamber erupted in discordant noise. Jennifer waited for silence before continuing. "You've fought the scourge with logic, with advanced technology, with calculated precision. You've tried to outthink it." She paused, meeting the gaze of the ancient Archon ambassador, a being of pure energy who had existed for millennia. "We propose something different. We propose chaos," explained Zixter Commander. Alex activated a holographic display. "The scourge is perfect at adaptation because it follows patterns. It predicts based on logical, tactical responses. But humans," he smiled, and there was something sharp in it, "we don't always follow logic. We're unpredictable, emotional. We do things that make no tactical sense whatsoever, and sometimes, that's exactly what wins wars." Jennifer took over. "We've analyzed every battle against the scourge. Each time, you retreated when your models predicted defeat. You evacuated when the odds turned against you. You followed optimal survival protocols." She leaned forward. "Humans would have stayed and fought impossible battles. We would have used weapons that logic says shouldn't work. We would have tried things that have a 0% chance of success because sometimes, that's what creates a 1% chance." "You propose suicide," the Archon stated flatly. "We proposed adaptation of a different kind," Jennifer countered. "The scourge adapts to defeat you. We adapt to defeat it. And we're very, very good at surviving things that should kill us." The chamber fell silent. "There's a human saying," Alex added. "We don't rise to the level of our expectations. We fall to the level of our training. Every species here evolved in relatively peaceful environments. You developed civilization through logic and cooperation. Humans." He shook his head. "We evolved in a death world. Everything on our planet tried to kill us for millions of years. We learned to fight back with rocks and sticks and sheer stubborn refusal to die." "This is why you frighten us," Zixter said quietly. "Your application to the Council was debated for decades. Some argued you were too violent, too unpredictable, too dangerous. And now we're your last hope," Jennifer said. "The question is, are you willing to accept our help, knowing what we are?" The vote was called. It took 3 hours of debate, but finally, by a narrow margin, the Council agreed. 4 weeks later, Jennifer stood on the bridge of the UNSC Indomitable, watching the Scourge fleet approach. 50 human vessels against 1,000 bio. The odds were impossible. Behind her, Alex coordinated with the fleet. "All ships, remember, no patterns, no predictable tactics. Fireteam Alpha, execute protocol Kamikaze. Beta, initiate the crazy Ivan maneuver. Charlie, light up the solar collectors even though they're not weapons. Make it confused." The battle was chaos incarnate. Human ships performed maneuvers that no sane captain would attempt. They rammed Scourge vessels at relativistic speeds. They detonated their own reactors in close proximity. They used mining equipment as improvised weapons. They sang war songs over open channels and broadcasted Earth's most aggressive music into space. The Scourge tried to adapt, but how do you predict madness? How do you counter tactics that defy tactical sense? When a human destroyer's weapons failed, its captain crashed it into a Scourge command node, shouting ancient battle cries. When ammunition ran low, engineers jury-rigged solutions that violated every known law of weapon safety. When shields fell, crews kept fighting with nothing but spite and determination. The Scourge began to falter. Jennifer, squelched as another human ship, too damaged to fight, accelerated directly into the Scourge swarm, its reactor set to overload. The crew's final transmission was simple: tell humanity we did our part. By the time the battle ended, 37 human ships had been destroyed, but the Scourge 4, the first time in its terrible existence, retreated. Alex appeared beside Jennifer, blood trickling from a cut above his eye. We won. We survived, Jennifer corrected. For now, across the galaxy, the Council watched in shocked silence. They had asked for humanity's help and received it. The Scourge was beaten back, the Outer Rim saved, but now the Council understood the truth. They had unleashed something perhaps more terrifying than the Scourge itself. A species that fought impossible odds and won. A species that didn't know when to quit. Humans were their salvation. Humans were their greatest fear. And there was no going back.